and there's been such an outpouring support and people who are kind of coming together to offer more guidance in these strange times of COVID-19. And we're going to get Mike Pangilinan from Calvo Fisher and Jacob to talk about. They're doing a task force and a website, right, Mike? Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Mike.
Good morning, Sabrina.
Tell us about this task force that you guys have created.
Yeah, so we're a law firm on Guam that's been in business for almost 30 years, Calvo Fisher and Jacob. And we just sort of felt like all the information that's been coming in, we're really living in an unprecedented time, dealing with issues and problems that we've never faced before as a community. And there's just so much evolving information. Every day or two, there's new legal issues that come up that need to be addressed and that everyone in the community needs to know about. So we've decided that to help out, we've created a task force within our law firm, and our law firm has a San Francisco office, which puts us in a position to have some of our attorneys working in the mainland time zone, and that can be monitoring the information as it evolves out of Congress and as it evolves out of the states that applies to Guam. And a lot of information that you see people on their email, you may see these email blasts from different big companies or law firms in the states that disseminate information, but you never know whether it applies to Guam or whether it really affects anyone in Guam. So what we've tried to do is we really want to help the community to understand what's going on and what they need to be aware of. So we've got a website, and to access it, you just go to calvofisher.com, type that into your browser, you'll get to our main page. There'll be a link that you can click on, and that will bring you up, open up our special website that has summaries of all the laws that keep, coming out. If it's, it can be the local executive orders that are coming out that affect everyone. Also, the federal laws that can provide relief to local businesses, local employees, and the community, even public agencies. Those will all be summarized. You'll find like a really small summary right on the main website page, but then when you click on it, it'll give you a detailed explanation of how it can affect Guam and how it can affect the Guam community.
Right, Mike, because with that, what was it, $2 trillion stimulus thing that came out, someone had sent me one of the final copies, and this sucker is like 800 pages long.
Yeah, so that's the latest one that we're dealing with, and we've got people right now for the past 8 hours or so that have been combing through that. Of course, as it makes its way through Congress, it can change, right?
Right,
so,
right.
we're putting it up, summaries of what's in it now, how it's changed, what it's likely to contain, and so that's an ongoing process, but that's the most recent one that we're focused on right now.
Just from what you guys do know about the relief package, how does it apply to Guam, as far as what you guys have posted on your website?
Well, one of the important things that we're seeing right now that has a particular impact on us is the relief that it provides to industries that are particularly hard hit by this virus, and that would be the airports and airlines. So there is a provision in the relief package and the stimulus package that provides a lot of funding for airports. So it's about $500 million. There's actually $500 million to pay for airport improvement programs. That's of course, not all of that goes to a single airport.
Right.
But that's then $7.4 billion of other aid that can just provide airports, reimbursement for all of the fees that they're sort of having to forego.
Right,
during this period.
Mike. I think one of the things, of course, that probably the most people are wondering about are the direct payments to American taxpayers. I know that's still in flux, but you guys are kind of keeping an eye on that, because I think that's one of the things where people want to know who applies, how much do I get, are there caps on household income and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I know that we have verified that it applies to Guam and all the territories. There's a lot of other possessions territories within the U.S. that it applies to. So I know that there's a $1,200 cash dissemination that's going to go to employees, and that's across the board. And then there's going to be funding for different different businesses in the community, the different industries. But it does apply to Guam. That was with all of these laws. That's the most important aspect that we look at first, is making sure it applies here. But it definitely does.
Right.
What about the unemployment insurance? Because we don't have an unemployment insurance program locally.
Yeah. So there's the other law that has come out that actually is a law now, is the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, and so the government's trying to get money to employees that have been affected by this situation, and so it's hard for the federal government to just send cash. I mean, it's hard to actually administer something that's that widespread. So what they're trying to do is to get employees a benefit somehow quickly, right? So one way that they're doing it is with that law, it allows employees that have to be quarantined, or they have to stay home because their children, the school closures have affected their children. They can get paid sick leave that the employer has to pay, but the employer can get reimbursed or refunded the sick leave through tax credits. So that's a kind of innovative way to get the employee actual payments, that can be done through the employer, so that way that they can get the money right away.
Right.
Yeah. So that one is already in effect. Definitely applies to Guam.
I mean, it's a lot to unpack, and so how do you guys go through these things? And I mean, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if dumb it down is maybe unlawyerify it is probably the better term, but
yeah, I mean, that's right. It's not easy to do, obviously, but this is our job. We're not frontline responders, right? We're not medical professionals. They're the ones that are putting their lives on the line, that are on the front lines. We're not, even the grocery store clerks, they're out there taking big risk for all of us, right? But what we're trying to do is just, what can we do? Our normal job is to take information and make it usable and understandable. So we have people, going through it, dedicated to this. And we wanted to put it up as something that's easy to access, so you don't have to, it's not only people that have lawyers that will understand it.
Right.
We want everyone to be able to understand it. But yeah, we've got relationships out there in San Francisco with our attorneys out there, connections to the other firms that have kind of specialized expertise. So we're also tapping on those relationships to help us kind of do this quickly.
All right. Well, thank you. Anything else that you wanted to get out, Mike?
No, I just wanted to also just mention one other sort of highlight on the site is the SBA Small Business Administration loans.
Right.
Those are available to businesses on Guam, and there's an application process. It's online. You just have to go to their website, and there's a specific type of loan for this COVID-19 disaster. So it's similar to the SBA loans that you get in a typhoon, but specific to this. So it's available to Guam. It's up to $2 million of a loan that you can get that's subject to potential forgiveness, depending on the circumstances. But it's something that I would recommend that businesses definitely take advantage of.
Well, Mike, we'd like to, I don't know if we can keep you on retainer or anything, but as some of this stuff goes through the White House, the president signs it. I mean, obviously there are going to be some last minute changes as they wheel and deal. But we'd like to have you, handy. I mean, we got your number and call, maybe kind of decipher a lot of this stuff and,
Unlawyerify it?
Yeah, unlawyerify it so that the people of Guam can know what benefits are, available for them. And that's
absolutely. You guys know where to find me, and we're available anytime. We just want to help, and we'll all get through this together.
You got it. So
Thank
you're an early riser, Mike, so 6:05 we'll make this.
Talk to you Monday.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Take
there
care.
you go. Attorney Mike Pangilinan and Calvo Fisher and Jacob. So that's neat. We posted the website link up on the comments. And he's right. There's a lot of stuff going through it. I remember when a friend of mine sent me the stimulus thing, and of course, I want to know. I think people are like all about the direct payments, so I was trying to go through it, and when I found it, I was like, What language is this? Hit there too, whereas thingamabob. All right, containing COVID. So, Bree, I know we have some new developments. Everybody has been talking about this USS Theodore Roosevelt, now being called, I see in some national media reports, the COVID carrier.
Yeah, and so overnight we had actually been monitoring this, and initially the military came out. Was it Wednesday, I believe, where they confirmed that there were 4 sailors that were medevaced to Guam from Theodore Roosevelt.